My guy, Marvel is on a roll right now because we got news on Spider-Man 4, we got news on Thor, we got news on Daredevil. If you're hyped, make sure to smash
4 updates, and I'm talking about 2
drop a thumbs up, hit
Spider-Man
subscribe.
4s. We have updates today about 2 different Spider-Man 4s. One, of course, about
Damn,
the
2?
current MCU Spider-Man, Tom Holland, and Zendaya returning along with Jacob Batalon, and the other Spider-Man 4, of course, being the Sam Raimi, Toby Maguire Spider-Man 4. We also have
Okay, listen, I actually heard rumors, so is that really true? Damn, okay, I want to know more
about the official runtime for Thor Love and Thunder, not to mention when that second trailer is going to be coming. Should be coming next week, but we'll talk about that in a bit. And of course, we have to talk about the new Daredevil Disney Plus show that is coming.
Yo, Marvel is on a serious roll right now.
We know a little bit of details about what to expect from that, including what other shows Daredevil is going to tie into. We'll break down all of this awesome news in this video. And of course, if you're new, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel news.
For free social credits.
4 that we'll talk about is the one that is with Tom Holland, Zendaya, Jacob Batalon, and Jon Watts directing. Now, this is kind of interesting because this new report states that Sony wants Jon Watts back to direct the future Spider-Man films. However, recently, according to our knowledge, Jon Watts backed out of directing the Fantastic Four because he needed a break from superhero films. But Sony seems to be fairly confident that Jon Watts is going to come back to direct the next Spider-Man film. And according to Sony, they want to start working on it soon. And this information is...
Dude, okay, they want to work on it soon. So when are we talking? Are we talking it's going to come out like in a year from now? 2 years from now? I would say 2 years max.
Actually coming directly from the source, as direct as it can get, with Sony chairman Tom Rothman doing an interview with Deadline. They talked about a lot in this interview, but then Deadline went on to talk about those who doubted Sony's strategy and underestimated their franchise's strength, in which Rothman replied that they have Uncharted, Jumanji, Spider-Man. He says, "We have our Marvel business, which breaks into 3 tranches. There are the Spider-Man movies, and we're currently at work on 2 Spider-Verse sequels to our Oscar-winning animated movie with Lord and Miller." And then
Dude, the first Spider-Verse movie was really good. So I actually heard this. I saw this like flying around over on the Twitter. I feel like that they want to release Spider-Verse movies first. Now, do they want to release 2 Spider-Verse movies before the next Spider-Man movie? Or are they just want to release like one Spider-Verse movie, then Spider-Man 4, then another Spider-Verse movie, and then a new Spider-Man movie? Let's see.
He says, "We hope to get working on the next Spider-Man movie," in which Deadline then asked him, with Jon Watts, Tom Holland, and Zendaya returning, and Rothman replied with, "That whole group, we hope." Side note, he also goes into a little bit of their other projects, saying that then there are movies I would call adjunct to the Spider-Man universe. That's Kraven, which we're shooting now, and Madam Web, which will start in the spring with S.J. Clarkson.
Madam Web!
And then there are many Marvel characters that are standalone. So it looks like Sony has quite a bit of plans for their Marvel Spider-Man universe. But obviously...
Yeah, Sony is still sitting on that Spider-Man, man. God damn, man. That is crazy.
Is that Sony wants to start on the next Spider-Man film soon. And they hope and probably expect Tom Holland, Zendaya, Jacob Batalon to return, but also Jon Watts to possibly direct the next trilogy. He did a pretty great job with the Homecoming trilogy, so I'm sure people would love to have him back. And if they're going to continue the same story that Spider-Man No Way Home left off with, it would be great to have him back, and it looks like that's their plan. They are going to stick to continuing the story of everybody forgetting who Peter Parker was, including MJ and Ned. And this is made pretty apparent since Rothman says that they want the whole group back. You're obviously not going to have them back if you're not going to continue the story. You can't just start a new story. So for those of you who were wondering if Zendaya is going to return as MJ and Jacob returning as Ned, it looks like they are, and I'm going to assume that whatever end this comes to, whether that's another 3 Spider-Man films or just a Spider-Man 4, whatever it is going to end with MJ and Ned remembering who Peter Parker is and hopefully remembering everything that they went through. However, this
at the end of the movie, they're probably gonna be like, "Yeah, man, I remember." But the whole movie, he's just gonna try to play catch, and yeah, it's gonna be really interesting.
I think this is not the only Spider-Man 4 that fans want to know about. Ever since Spider-Man No Way Home brought together the 3 different generations of Spider-Man, Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Toby Maguire, fans have just been loving it, and a bunch of reports came out after the movie was released that have been stating that Sony wants and has plans for Toby Maguire's Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
Yo, for real? Listen, okay, so if you have watched Doctor Strange 2, obviously no spoilers, but there's concept of multiverse, right? And I feel like that they can still make them come back, but obviously the latest Spider-Man movie, they kind of in that movie they closed the loop, and it really feels like that we're not gonna see them back, but we might see like standalone movies from those actors in the future, right? That's always a possibility. But are we really gonna see them back with Tom Holland in like the future Spider-Man movies? I'm not totally sure.
To give us a Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire. After all, Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire were supposed to do 4 Spider-Man films, but they only got to do 3. And Sam Raimi and Tobey...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So maybe we're gonna see like a standalone Tobey Maguire movie. Yo, that would be insane, man.
Maguire opened up about that and said that it was pretty hard on them. Now Sam Raimi is back directing for Marvel. Of course, he recently directed Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And now a lot of people are wondering if he could possibly direct the MCU Spider-Man now. Perhaps direct the next Tom Holland trilogy. However, Sam Raimi says that he is not going to be directing any Tom Holland Spider-Man films. Now, it's not because...
Wait, what? Damn, that is crazy.
He doesn't like Tom Holland as Spider-Man, or he doesn't like those films. It's actually because he loves and respects Tobey Maguire too much. In a recent interview with the Los Angeles Times...
Yeah, Tobey, best Spider-Man, man. Tom Holland's great as well. Like, in fact, like, I like the Spider-Man of Andrew Garfield. I like all 3. I feel like that all 3 brings in, like, their uniqueness to it, and I actually like all the Spider-Man movies, but yeah, Tobey Maguire, I mean, come on now, right? That's the original. I mean, you cannot beat the homie Toby, okay? That's the best
Sam
Spider-Man,
Raimi praised Spider-Man No Way Home for opening up the multiverse and bringing some of his old friends into one movie. He also had really great things to say about Tom Holland and the direction that those films went. He said, "I love Spider-Man, and I love Tom Holland in the role, but if I made a Spider-Man movie, it would probably have to be with Toby, or he'd break my neck." And I love that. I love that he started it with Tobey Maguire with their 3 Spider-Man films. And if he were to come back and do Spider-Man, he would want that Spider-Man to be Toby, because that's been his buddy for all these years. And it sounds like Sam Raimi is actually open to returning, which would make sense because he just directed Multiverse of Madness, a Marvel film. In fact, he says he's
the thing is that a lot of people said that Multiverse of Madness is like really dark, and yeah, it was dark, but it wasn't that dark though. Like, a lot of people were saying that, yo man, do not bring your kids to the theaters out there. It's kind of dark, it's kind of scary, it's horror. I mean, come on, okay? It wasn't that scary, but it was good. I actually enjoyed it. So Sam Raimi, Venom, Spider-Man 4, Toby, it might actually be poggers. It might be poggers.
Only open to coming back to direct a Spider-Man 4 if Marvel is up for it. In the same interview, he said, "I don't know if Marvel would be interested in that right now. I don't know what their thoughts are about that. I haven't really pursued that, but it sounds beautiful. Even if it wasn't a Spider-Man movie, I'd love to work with Toby again in a different role." This is great news because in all of the interviews after Spider-Man No Way Home was released, Tobey Maguire said that right now he's up for anything. So it looks like Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire are both up for Spider-Man 4.
It's gonna happen.
The only thing that kind of needs to happen now is that Sony and Marvel need to greenlight it. I personally really hope this happens. And there were a lot of reports and a lot of talk after the movie was released stating that this is a big possibility and that the studios are actually talking about it, which would make sense because Spider-Man No Way Home was a massive success. So fingers crossed that things work out for both.
Did Spider-Man Far From... Okay, I forgot that. No Way Home. Did that actually surpass Avengers Endgame? I feel like it was close to it, right? I could be wrong.
Both Spider-Man 4s. Now for some Thor Love and Thunder news, in case you haven't heard, there are some big reports out there stating that the Thor Love and Thunder second trailer should be coming this Monday. Now as far as what time it could drop, I believe the first trailer dropped at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So if they're planning on dropping it as the same time that they dropped the first trailer, that's when you can expect it. 10 a.m.
So it's Monday and it's 6:11 p.m. Eastern time when I'm actually recording this, and they have not, but I heard that it might actually come nighttime. But it's a rumor, right? He said it too. It's a rumor, so yeah.
Eastern time. Also, this is
either way it's gonna come out. Either way it's gonna come out soon.
But according to the website cineworld.co.uk, the runtime for Thor Love and Thunder is going to be 140 minutes. So 2 hours.
Damn, 2 hours and 20 minutes? Yo, that's good. But can a brother perhaps get 2 hours and 21 minutes? Is that too hard? Come on, man. Like
20 minutes long. Again, this could always change and may not be accurate, but this is listed on their official site. Now, of course, to finish this off, we have to talk about the big news. Marvel Studios is officially developing a Daredevil Disney Plus series. This report
Dude,
is
they
coming
got
from
so much,
Variety,
man.
who are very big and very
They on that
reputable.
roll,
They
though.
get a lot of exclusives, and of course, there's really no reason to not believe that a Daredevil show is coming. It's been rumored for a while now, and of course, we saw him in Spider-Man No Way Home. And according to some old reports, we're actually supposed to see Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock / Daredevil in the MCU a few times before the series actually comes out. Now, we know we're going to be seeing him in the She-Hulk series. Jennifer Walters is a New York lawyer, so is Matt Murdock. And they both represent superheroes. So it just makes sense that their paths would cross at least a little bit. But then we just got word that the Echo series, of course, is coming to the MCU, which we knew about, but has now been officially announced. And if you know anything about Daredevil and Echo in the comics...
My guy, my question is that when are we actually gonna get that big, full-blown Avengers movie? Is that gonna be coming out like 20 billion years from now? Because they got so much stuff going around. It's like, yeah, they're setting it up, and I'm actually really hyped. But damn, right? They got so much. But let me know your thoughts. Click on this video on the screen, and I will see you right there.